Hello people, this is Moffatt from Kharischangeworks. Guys, I hope you are well. I want to just talk about some experience that helps us to change sometimes quite a lot. I read this little saying the other day and it kind of struck a chord with me. And I want to bring this to you. And of course, if it does anything for you, either motivate you or you have some experience regarding this particular thing, I would like you just to put that in the comments box and let's have a conversation. And also, of course, do all the YouTube admin, as I call it, the liking, the sharing, subscribing. Tell all your friends, please tell all your family. When you hit the little notification bell, pick all. That way you'll be notified every time that we upload a video. So, what is this saying? It said something like this. You've changed a lot. No, a lot has changed me. So, when people engage in some kind of relationship, it doesn't matter what type of relationship it is, you get to know people for where they are at that particular point in time. It's just one of those things. And then as you journey through life, whether it be a platonic relationship, whether it be a business relationship, or should it even be a romantic relationship, it doesn't make a difference. This relationship, everybody's on a journey somewhere from somewhere else. And then as time moves on, circumstances happen, events happen, the life that we live, things happen, and sometimes those events forces us, and I use the word force because it is a facilitator of change. I give you an example. Cancer, a bereavement, bankruptcy, a child, a stroke, those kind of things. It doesn't matter what it is. Those events changes us on the inside. It kind of helps us to redirect our attention. As if a switch gets switched on or maybe switched off in our mental being, can I say. You change because something assisted you to make that decision to change. So when people say to you, you've changed a lot, what they're saying is, I recognize that you are no longer who you were. You're not the same person. This new person is different to who you were before, and I'm letting you know I've noticed that. That's effectively what the observant will say. But what they will never know, unless of course they do, is what that a lot was that changed you, not the fact that you changed a lot. It's easy to see it from the outside, looking at it from a distance. But here's the thing, my friend, when it happens to you, then all of a sudden, now things are different. Because now, as I call it, and me and Lara speak about this frequently, it resonates because now you have a reference point. You can relate to it. You can say, when that happened, this was the result of the decisions that I made, whether it be consciously or whether it be unconsciously, that doesn't matter. The point here is an event does something to us on the inside that says, I cannot stay like this anymore. Things need to change. And your behavior, your attitude, Your perspective, the way you speak, the way you think, the way you go about your life now changes. And people only see the a lot bit when you change. Now, why is this so important for us to understand? Consider the following. Coronavirus, lockdown, restrictions, standing in queues. I was having a joke only yesterday with someone who came to fix something in my little humble house. 15 months ago, 12 months ago, you couldn't get any toilet paper. For those of you who remember, I was fortunate enough to get a little bit here, a little bit here, a little bit here, a little bit here, a packet here, a little packet there, and I stored up quite a substantial amount of toilet paper over a long period of time. And this particular chap moved something, and we joked about the fact that I've still got a packet of this toilet paper left. And I said to the guy, it was because of the circumstances that I had to change my mindset on something. As insignificant as that, I now still reap the rewards of that decision I made quite some while ago. So why is this important? Toilet paper is not the important thing here. What I'm trying to say is, when circumstances approaches and it comes to you and it says, you now to deal with me, what you're going to do, otherwise I'm going to do this and I'm going to make you into something else. I'm going to facilitate that you change somehow. The person experiencing that might be confused, might be dazzled, completely disorientated. Those kind of things. The observer only notices this. So, here's my thought for today. When you observe others change, maybe it's their behavior, maybe it's the way they speak, maybe it's their outlook on life, don't remind them that they've changed. Maybe they don't need to hear this. Maybe a better way is to say, I've noticed that you've changed. Things must have been difficult. How can I encourage you? How can I support you? Because let's be fair here. Significant change only takes place when you're going through a difficult, painful time. That's when you truly change. When you train changing on a superficial level, it's when things go really well, like you win the lottery, or you get some form of promotion, or something exciting, and it's great. When these things happen, you also change. But it's quite frankly superficial often of the times. Or quite often. But here's the thing. Put someone in a difficult situation and then see them change. That's when the true colors really come out. So when you notice people changing, chances are that they're going through a tough time. Stressful, full of anxiety, struggling. They don't need to know that they're going through a tough time. What they need to know is that you're there to support them. That you're there as a shoulder to cry on. That you are there to listen to what they have to say. Basically what I'm saying is, be the friend they need when you notice their change. Consider another thing. When you've got a loved one or a friend or another family member who's had, say for argument's sake, a stroke, survived cancer, went bankrupt, anything to that effect, something really significant. And you ask them after the event, let's say a cancer survivor, and they come out the other end and they are now healthy. You ask them, what were you like before the event? Then you had the event, and now you are after the event. What changed? How did you change? And I'll be very surprised if they say, nothing really changed. I am still me. I'll be surprised. If they do, they're probably telling you a pile of porkies. If they do say, however, before the event, I was outgoing and happy-go-lucky and I had a la-di-da attitude towards life. Kind of took things for granted. Having a laugh and having a joke. Those kind of things. Normal behavior. And then the cancer struck. Then the stroke came. Then the bankruptcy came. Whatever the case might be. Now, when I look at life, now I appreciate every minute I am alive. Now, when I see my family and I see my friends, now all of a sudden, those things that used to annoy me, those things that used to irritate me, those things that they did or said that used to make me really angry, now I pardon them with far greater ease. Because now, after the event, I appreciate being alive. Now my viewpoint has changed. My attitude has changed. I dare you ask anybody who has had such experiences, and they will tell you something down those lines. I just wish that there were more people who not only notice the change and make some kind of comment about it, but who would actually step out of themselves and say, what can I do to help them? Because if you know, struggling is not a fun place to be. Being in pain, not physically necessarily, but emotionally and psychologically, being in pain is not a nice place to be. And when you get people who make you aware that they notice that you are no longer the same, and they do nothing about it, frustrates me. Why haven't they got the guts to say, what's going on? How can I help you? Unfortunately, these kind of people are a little bit like chicken teeth. Hard to find. But I'm going to encourage you, when you notice things, don't say that you've changed a lot. Assist them about the lot that has changed them. It is a cause and effect principle. Too many people notice the effect, but they become incredibly blind for the cause. So I'm going to ask you to maybe let this video be the cause that leads to an effect in change in you when you see other people struggle. When you notice things, they are no longer the same. When you know that you can do something to aid fellow man, do something worthwhile and helpful, useful, call it whatever you want, for your fellow man, to have a life's journey that is not as difficult as it could be, because now they've got someone that they can not necessarily lean on, but there is someone who's there to walk with them through life's difficult situations. So these things don't necessarily have a 100% impact that devastates most often, but they've got someone to help buffer the blow. I dare you. It's a tough one, I know. Let's look at the causes of things, and let's deal with the cause, the root things, not the fruit on the tree stuff, if I can use the metaphor. Yeah, come on. Let's help mankind here. Because let's be honest, when you're going through a tough time, you too would want to have someone to metaphorically hold your hand, where you can metaphorically let off some steam, where you metaphorically can cry on someone else's shoulder. It's a two-way street. That's all I want to say today. Don't notice that people change. That is important. But I think it's a little bit more significant to support them during that change, during that struggle. Because you might just be the key that helps them propel through this thing a little bit quicker, a little bit better, a little bit more successful. Who's to know? That's it. I hope you found this video to be a cause. And it's causing you to become motivated to help others. Like I said before, please do all the YouTube admin. Like, share, subscribe, comment, hit the bell, pick all. But for now, that's his mark. From Kharischangeworks, I'll speak to you soon.